is The Browser, Utah's social show.
This was the scene just on the banks of the Seine last night as many Parisians and, quite frankly, people around the world gathered to pay tribute to Notre Dame after more than 400 firefighters worked tirelessly to put out the flames of that iconic cathedral. And you can see it at the time that video was captured. Those flames are still burning. Welcome into the Browser 5.0. I'm Lori Pritchard here with Andrew Wittenberg.
It is as if the world came together to watch the horror as the Catholic Church, which is more than 800 years old, that cathedral began to burn late Monday in Paris. Fueling that fire was the lattice work near the roof of the church that's made up of more than 12,000 oak trees. It is believed the fire began near the spire, which was added to Notre Dame in the 1990s.
And you can see that spire came crashing down. Along with heartbreak. And much of the roof, the lattice that made up that roof collapsed as well. Right now, we don't know how structurally sound parts of the building are. Investigators are still trying to assess that damage, but we do know that some of Notre Dame's famed artifacts, such as Christ's crown of thorns and the famed 8,000 pipe organ, survived, though its condition is not known. And I was just reading that French President Emmanuel Macron said that he would like to have the cathedral rebuilt within the next 5 years, which is pretty astonishing considering the amount of time it's taken just to build it to begin with.
And by now we've heard the stories of the French billionaires, names that you are likely familiar with: Yves Saint Laurent and Louis Vuitton, Hennessy and others. The heads of those companies have pledged hundreds of millions of dollars to aid in that rebuilding process. Lori, too, worth noting here that you had a very poetic Facebook post that I talked to you about a little bit this morning. You lived
I lived down the street from Notre Dame. I went to school in France, and I lived along the Boulevard Saint-Michel, which just, if you walk just north, you will run right into Notre Dame. So I lived not even a half a mile away. That was a place that I went to. It was a place of solace for me because, you know, even though you're living in one of the greatest cities in the world, you still get lonely sometimes. And that was my place to go and kind of gather my thoughts and not feel so lonely. And it was heartbreaking for me to see it on fire yesterday. It brought me to tears. There's a pit in my stomach because of this.
No matter your religion, it transcended belief into something that was such an iconic piece of the world's culture, now in many ways heavily damaged today. And you see the onlookers there in Paris. Once again, they're watching and in some ways praying for a miracle to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And today, you know, the internet collectively looking for this family. A woman named Brooke Windsor took this photo, posted it to Twitter with a caption: "I took this photo as we were leaving Notre Dame about an hour before it caught fire." And you see that man playing with what I presume to be his daughter. And she writes, "I almost went up to ask the dad and ask if he wanted the photo. Now I wish I had. Twitter, if you have any magic, help us find him." And the photo has been retweeted 136,000 times. It's been picked up by several news agencies. In fact, I saw this photo at first in one of the London websites, one of London's papers. So hopefully they will find that person.
You hope so. And no matter what your relationship may be with this cathedral, what it may be with European or Catholic culture, it is certainly a major, major loss that many are still mourning today. And stay with us here on KSL as we continue to follow developments in Paris.